Hello and welcome to episode 1 of the Growing Leader podcast with me, Kemi Taylor, where we're all about helping you build relationships with clarity and creativity. So episode 1 is our first one, and so I'm dedicating it to 3 things. 1, to find out a little bit more about who I am. 2, to find out a little bit more about who the growing leader is. And 3, to find out why I love to call everyone a leader. So who am I? I'm Kemi Taylor. I'm an IT consultant, but I also love all things science and learning new things and building relationships and connection and harmony and all of those nice things. But the reason why I've set up the Growing Leader was because a few years back I went on a leadership course, and some of the principles that I took away, I decided to practice it at home, just as a place of exploring how I could lead better and just be more curious. But what I discovered was a massive shift in terms of the connection that I was starting to build with people around me. Relationships where we had, I guess, worked out a way of working, we had now started to actually build deeper connections that I never actually thought was possible. And with that, it just got me excited about how I could share some of this stuff with everyone. And so I started to talk a little bit more about it and started to help other people with some of the things that I was learning, and they were also seeing massive shifts. And so it was just a desire in my heart that I was like, the world needs to know about this. And so we started doing workshops, and they were great because people were coming in and I was able to facilitate conversations where people were able to see things differently. But when COVID-19 happened and the lockdown happened, I realized that the conversation needed to spread wider. And so with that, I've now set up this podcast. And so what I'm going to be doing is each week, I'm going to be sharing with you some ideas that I'm discovering that are helping me on my leadership journey, and also bringing other people, other experts, other people who are exploring, and letting them share some of their ideas as well, so that you can have a plethora of different perspectives and ideas for you to explore. What I've always discovered is if you are curious and decide to step outside of your comfort zone and into that place of discomfort and practice and apply something different, even if it's not your default or your norm, what you actually discover is always something very helpful, something insightful, something interesting, something different. So you might not agree at first with everything that I share, but I'm asking you to listen, not with the intention to agree, but just with an intention to explore, to try to understand, and to see if something shifts for you. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter. Just keep learning, keep growing is what I'm always telling everyone, because we are all different. I believe that we all have our default way of how we lead. A lot of it sometimes is conditioned by our environment, be it, our place of work, how we've been brought up growing up, our home context, etc. But it doesn't stop there. I've just realized that there's so many different ways that we can show up in different environments if we just keep learning and exploring new ideas. So each week as I do that, please use them as ways to build your relationships with clarity and creativity, and hopefully through that you will start to see a real shift. Sometimes it will just be an opportunity for you to learn, but in either case, do not stop. And this is what my podcast will always be encouraging you to keep doing. I call everyone leaders because I really, really do believe in a definition of leadership that John C. Maxwell also shares, which is all about how leadership is influence. I believe that we're all influencing people around us, whether we're doing it consciously or subconsciously. And it's about being more aware of what that looks and feels like for us. If we can be more intentional with it, it does mean that we're in a place where we're able to bring out the best of who we are and also the best of who everyone else is. And so please keep listening. If you love what I'm doing, please keep sharing it. Please comment, please subscribe. But in any case, like I always like to leave everyone and encourage everyone with, is keep learning, keep growing leaders. God bless. Bye.